Tonight on NewsVision, federal agents have raided the home of the superintendent for the nation's second largest school district in Los Angeles, who used to be the Miami-Dade school superintendent. We'll tell you what happened.
It's surprising because it's somebody I least expected.
Plus, the Everglades are burning. We'll tell you how far these wildfires are spreading and how South Florida is trying to limit the effects.
Conserve a little bit of water, don't irrigate your lawns.
And later on, we'll take you to the place where the history of Miami Hurricanes athletics echoes across its walls right here on campus. All these stories and more tonight on NewsVision, and it starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to NewsVision. I'm Madison Block.
And I'm Shane McDonald. Thank you for joining us. In California, the FBI was seen raiding the home of Los Angeles Unified School District Superintendent Alberto Carvalho on Wednesday. Carvalho was made Miami-Dade school superintendent prior to taking the job in California. Federal officials did not say what the search warrant was related to or give details about the investigation.
Like 5 helicopters in the air, I was like, what's going on?
Under a chopper-filled sky, FBI agents carting out box after box and going back for more. Neighbors say they also searched this LAUSD vehicle, Carvalho's car, they say nicknamed the Beast.
And then all of a sudden, the siren went off.
It all started with agents and sirens just after 6 o'clock Wednesday morning.
This just seems to be really odd circumstances.
One man saying his first odd sight was a rifle pointed at the house.
I looked outside my window. They had a guy in camo with a rifle pointing at him.
Who was in the sights is unclear, as is who, if anyone, was arrested.
They cuffed somebody. I couldn't tell from the thing, but they cuffed somebody.
The FBI would only say that agents served the search warrant here. The details remaining under seal.
Mr. Carvalho, can we talk to you for a second, sir?
Carvalho himself has not commented, but there has been legal controversy in the past.
Is Mr. Carvalho under arrest?
No comment.
Is this related to business at the school district? Ma'am, you don't want to say anything, even though this is a public institution?
No comment, sir.
School district employees were here with little to say.
We just want to take a look at it. It was crazy.
Students were also here with plenty to see.
We wanted to just come see for ourselves.
What they saw was a search and seizure, FBI agents and warrants.
And I'm like, whoa.
And a new lesson on real-life law.
It's surprising because it's somebody I least expected. I thought superintendent's supposed to lead by example for us. So that now he's getting caught up. So, it's just like that.
Carvalho has served as superintendent of the LA school district since early 2022. He previously held the same role with Miami-Dade Public Schools right here in South Florida.
Cuba says its forces have killed 4 people and injured 6 others who were in a Florida-registered speedboat. It alleges they were heavily armed and trying to infiltrate. The shootout happened on Wednesday at Falcones Cay, just off the island's coast. Cuba says someone on the boat shot and injured a Cuban vessel's commander, prompting return fire. The passengers' nationalities are unclear, but the U.S. says they were not government personnel. Cuba says 2 survivors have been accused of terrorism. It says it arrested a separate person who Cuba claims came from the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Coast Guard will carry out an independent investigation.
Suffice it to say, it is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that. It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time. But we're going to find out. We're not going to base our conclusions on what they've told us.
In a statement posted on X, Cuban Miguel Diaz-Canel said, quote, Cuba will defend itself with determination and firmness against any terrorist or mercenary aggression that seeks to undermine its sovereignty and national stability. Now, I don't know about you, Shay, but it's been pretty dry outside.
Yeah, it's been actually record levels of drought here in South Florida. And with more about it, we have Ann Badowski, our meteorologist, here in studio. Ann, what you got?
Yeah, talk about a recent update. We actually had an update to our drought monitor just this morning. You can see that Miami is now in a moderate drought instead of the abnormally dry, which we did have before. A bit of an update here, nothing incredibly noticeable, but you can see that this area of extreme is going to continue to going to continue to creep towards the coast as well. This extreme area is actually covering 65% of the state. On top of that, 100% of Florida is experiencing some sort of drought, which is not helping with our wildfire concerns. You can see the fire, the national fire, out in the Everglades right now. I like to think of this as layers. We have our drought, we have dry conditions on top of that we've been experiencing over the past few weeks, but we also have this smoke that is going to be in the area. Those high winds are going to be pushing that smoke away from us, but it could lead to us having some wildfire conditions that could spread as well with those high winds that are going to be spreading up. Not a lot of the smoke is going to be experienced here in Miami, though. Dry weather and near zero rainfall have been dominating South Florida weather for the past few weeks. William DePaula takes a closer look at the drought and wildfire conditions. Will?
Yeah, guys, I'm right off of Interstate 75, also known as Alligator Alley, right where Route 29 actually crosses over the top. Now, I'm also right on the edge of the Big Cypress Preserve. As we take a look at the preserve behind me, you might be noticing some of the huge clouds of dark smoke billowing out from the tops of some of those palm trees. Now, this is because there's an ongoing wildfire that authorities estimate started earlier on in the week. They believe it was either late Sunday night or early in the morning hours on Monday. Now, even though it's only been a few days since the start of the fire, they estimate that it's already burnt upwards of 25,000 acres. Now, this is just assisted by the extreme drought that much of the Everglades has been dealing with so far this year. Now, I got to take a closer look at some of the conditions and the fire.
The dry season in Florida starts in early November and lasts through May. Now, that doesn't mean no rain at all for 7 months, as on average, Florida still gets 25 to 30% of the yearly rain during that time. But this year, Florida has seen significantly less.
This month we've only gotten 0.08 inches of rainfall, so just continued droughts that has aggravated the drought conditions. So much of southern Florida, especially southwestern Florida, is currently in an extreme drought.
These extremely dry conditions, coupled with the abnormally cold winter in the Sunshine State, have resulted in dry vegetation that was also affected by frost in South Florida.
I believe average temperature so far in this month of February has been about 65 degrees. That's 5 degrees below normal.
These ingredients have created the perfect recipe for destructive wildfires to burn out of control. In Big Cypress National Preserve in Collier County, a new wildfire started on Monday morning. To prevent it from spreading to the I-75 highway that cuts through the Everglades, fire crews decided to do controlled burns to contain the flames on the ground, while using helicopters to fight the flames in areas unreachable by foot.
And there have been studies that have shown that some of the compounds that get formed in smoke can actually be more toxic.
Big Cypress National Preserve is home to about 100 endangered animal and plant species, all of which could suffer from the wildfire. But not all fire effects are negative.
Yeah, so wildfires have historically been used as a way of redistributing nutrients, so they can have a beneficial and also a negative impact, really depending on the ecosystem.
Now, even though the fire is almost 2 hours away from Miami, we could still be dealing with a few of the impacts back home. Now, see, all this smoke is going to go up on into the atmosphere, and then the wind is going to blow it over towards us. Now, this fire is still at 0% containment, meaning that we could be dealing with that smoke in Miami throughout the later part of this week and even into early on next week, as long as that fire is still burning and that smoke is still going on up into the atmosphere. Reporting for UMTV, I'm William DePaula.
Thanks, Will. We'll take a short break now, but coming up, highlights from the President's State of the Union address, what was said, and reactions from Capitol Hill. Also, we'll take you to some events that are fueling South Florida's fight against cancer. NewsVision will be right back.
Thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
American Airlines and Miami-Dade County officials have unveiled plans for a major expansion of Concourse D at Miami International Airport.
The project will add 17 new gates and expand the airport's capacity for larger aircrafts, which is a huge boost for the world's largest gateway to the Caribbean. Vivian Amoya is live at the airport with details. Vivian?
Guys, that's right. Miami International Airport is getting a $1 billion facelift called the D60 extension, which will completely transform Concourse D, which is an area currently used for smaller regional jets, into a 3-level concourse able to handle more mainline aircrafts. The extension includes 17 new gates as well as a more open area for boarding. Airport officials say travelers will experience a more enhanced baggage handling system as well as more options for shopping and dining. Miami International Airport is American Airlines' primary gateway for flights to Latin America and the Caribbean. American says its flights make more than 60% of passenger traffic at Miami. The airline operates about 400 departures a day from Miami, and the additional gates are expected to support the airline's continued growth. This announcement is part of a larger $9 billion airport-wide upgrade, which will take over 15 years to complete. This is the first expansion of the Miami airport since 2007. The airport director says this bill will be paid entirely by generated revenue and no tax dollars involved. Ground is set to break sometime next year. Live from Miami International Airport, Vivian Amoya, UMTV.
Thank you, Vivian. President Trump has delivered the first State of the Union address of his current term Tuesday night with mixed reception along party lines. It was the longest State of the Union address in U.S. history. Trump spoke for an hour and 47 minutes, many times addressing the Democrat lawmakers in the room who attended directly. 30 Democrats did not show up in protest of the administration. Trump praised this economy under his leadership and baited Democrats during the speech by stating Republican stances and pointing out the Democrats refusing to applaud and stand in support of many stances Republicans say are, quote, common sense.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Some Democrat lawmakers inside the chamber even sparred with the president throughout the night, with Representative Ilhan Omar calling him a murderer and a liar. Democrats held their own events to counter-program the speech, like the State of the Swamp, which featured people in inflatable frog costumes, actor Robert De Niro, and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. In the official Democrat response, Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger said the president is corrupt and covering up the Epstein files.
This week, the UM campus organization called Students Supporting Israel, or SSI, hosted an event featuring Masab Hassan Youssef, who is the son of a Hamas founder. The event was held in the Shalala Student Center ballrooms on UM's main campus, where Youssef spoke to more than 200 people. Born on the West Bank, Masab is the son of Hamas co-founder Sheikh Hassan Youssef. Masab talked about secretly becoming a spy for the Shin Bet, which is Israel's internal intelligence agency, in 1997, and later converted from Islam to Christianity.
A lot of times you see like pro-Israel speakers who are Jews, who are maybe like American Jews or Israelis, but you don't really often see somebody who grew up like in the West Bank, somebody who actually like grew up as the son of one of the co-founders of Hamas. So he offers a really unique perspective.
In 2010, Youssef published his autobiography, The Son of Hamas, detailing his early life and his time as an Israeli spy. Today, Youssef travels the world as a pro-Israel advocate, discussing his books and his comments and his thoughts on the current conditions in the Middle East. And now, going to the current conditions down here in South Florida, we have Ann Badowski back with us again. Ann, what you got?
Yeah, taking a look outside right now, we do have 72 degrees here in Miami, fairly warm as well. I'm definitely glad that these temperatures are starting on the rise. Even just from yesterday, we've gone up about 5 degrees from what we were experiencing this time yesterday, 24 hours. On the West Coast, we have had a bit more of a significant increase, but this overall warming trend is going to be sticking with us over the next few weeks as well. Down here in Miami, we have a 70% chance of seeing temperatures above what we would normally be expecting with our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. As you can see, this trend is just covering the whole entire United States as well. Everybody's going to be joining us in these nice warm conditions as well. As you're waking up tomorrow, though, you might see some fog as you're heading out. Not only do we have some fog, we also have some smoke, which is going to reduce visibility by quite a bit. Some of these areas in gray could actually be having almost 0 miles per hour, 0 miles for their visibility. As we head into those afternoon hours, though, that sun is going to pop out and take away a lot of those conditions. So by the time you're heading out in the afternoon, conditions will be nice and dry. But as for our rainfall as well, we have some pop-up showers on Friday. We have this front that's going to be pushing through. That's when you could be seeing some thunderstorms and some heavier precipitation. Unfortunately, a lot of this rain is going to be fairly widespread. It's not necessarily going to have any huge impacts on our drought or on our wildfire conditions, but definitely something to keep an eye on as you're heading into the weekend. You can see all those precipitation values, thunder and lightning on Saturday and Sunday, just a slight risk. We could still be seeing some sunshine along with those very nice and comfortable temperatures as we head into early next week. Those showers are also going to be joining us by then too. Overall, a lot of chances for pop-up showers as well, but some beautiful conditions to enjoy, at least for tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ann. This weekend is the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, or DCC, at the Hard Rock Stadium. This is an annual event that is a collaboration between the NFL and the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. And ahead of this Saturday's DCC, the Miami Design District held its own cycling session to get riders ready to cycle for a cause. Nearly 50 cyclists showed up at 6:30 this morning riding through Miami in support of cancer research. But this was not just any group ride. Participants pedaled side by side with cycling champions. Olympic medalist Mari Holden and world champion Leanna Cave led the pack, giving everyday riders a front row experience.
It was awesome because this year they had a escort with us, so we were zipping through all of the lights. We were, treated like VIPs out there, so it was really great. And it was fun to be able to just connect with everyone and catch up and have a great ride.
The 30-mile ride also featured a limited edition jersey collab between the Miami Design District and Rafa Racing, with proceeds benefiting Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. The Dolphins Cancer Challenge has raised more than $100 million since its founding in 2010. Organizers hope to add another $18 million during this Saturday's main event at Hard Rock Stadium.
And the Dolphins Cancer Challenge is not the only event that raises funds for the deadly disease. On Sunday, beautiful weather complemented a perfect opportunity to raise awareness for cancer on the University of Miami campus. The Lady Canes basketball team helped organize the Pink and Beyond Cancer Awareness Walk. The event brought students, community, and even Sebastian the Ibis together before the Canes home game at 2 p.m. against the University of California on Sunday. One student-ran organization called AMSA tabled the event and gave away cancer prevention-inspired shirts to participants as they signed in. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States, which is why walks like this are so crucial in bringing people together to be there for one another.
I like to do walks, and especially for cancer awareness, because friends, colleagues are actually going through it or have gone through it. So I just like to support.
Main partnership in this event between the Sylvester Comprehensive Research Center and the Lady Canes is about more than just basketball. It's an attempt to creating real change both in the community and against cancer as a whole.
Up next on NewsVision, jury deliberations are underway in the Rashawn Jones trial. What key witnesses testified at the stand? Plus, the Sports Hall of Fame hosted some big events this week. We'll take you there after a short break.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, how to control the flames, what to do with hot coals, how to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome to sports. I'm Taryn Jacobs. Prosecutors have rested their case in the trial of Rashawn Jones. In 2021, former football player Jones was arrested 15 years after the murder of Brian Pata, who was his teammate. His arrest came after new evidence and key witnesses were discovered. 21 witnesses took the stand trying to prove that Jones had a motive and a weapon to kill Pata, and that he was not at the mandatory team meeting the night that Pata was shot. One of the most powerful testimonies came from professor Paul Connor, who said he saw Jones at the crime scene and later picked him up out of a lineup first in 2007 and again in 2020. The defense could not counter the information provided and argued that investigators failed to pursue other leads. Jurors also heard testimony that Jones and Pata did not get along. A teammate said Jones once told him that he owned a .38 caliber, the same caliber that a firearms expert testified was consistent with the bullet in Pata's skull. If convicted of second-degree murder, Jones faces life in prison. And on the international stage, the Winter Olympics wrapped up this week, and the U.S. came in second in the medal count with 12 gold medals, only behind Norway. The men's and women's Team USA hockey teams took home gold, the men's for the first time since the Miracle on Ice game back in 1980. And thanks to the blizzard up north, the men's team got to celebrate right here in Miami on Monday night. You can see the players living it up there at 11, and UMTV's Shay McDonald and Matt Keegan got to party with them. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them. I am so incredibly jealous. I wish I was able to go there, but I'm glad they had a good time. And here in the Gables, Canes baseball has been rolling through their first 10 games. It's their first 10-0 start since 2013. And they rewrote history all weekend long in their series against Lafayette, and they continue to do so. On Sunday, they tallied 30 runs, the second most in a single game, 5 home runs in an inning, and 59 total bases, setting the record in those categories. And after last night, 155 total runs, the most in any 10-game span in program history. But they don't call them the Cardiac Canes for nothing. Yesterday, they headed up north to play Florida Atlantic. Miami trailed by 2 heading into that 9th inning, but in an electric finale, the Canes brought home 7 runners, coming out with an 11-7 victory. And Canes basketball continues to add to their win column in the Jay Lucas era, this time against Florida State. It was a homecoming for Miami's own Trey Donaldson, and he showed out big time. He got it going for the Canes on that 3 there. He adds 3 to the board. Now next play from Henderson. Bang! That one will also go in. Now he takes this one to the rack. That one won't fall, but Malik Renew will get that one in. And now, will this one go from deep? Yes, it will. He keeps it going and straight through the defender, lays that one in off the boards. And one more time, just for good measure, Miami goes on to win by 10. And off to the big leagues, football players are in Indianapolis for the scouting combine. 10 of them striving to improve their stock ahead of the NFL draft. Liam Hickey's live outside the Schwartz Center for Athletic Excellence on campus with more on how the Canes are doing. Liam?
Nation's most elite programs, because for the second straight year, the Hurricanes are sending 10 players to the NFL Combine. The Combine is a week-long scouting event where the college football's best prospects are invited to showcase their skills through a variety of tests in front of NFL teams in an effort to boost their draft stock. Today's events feature the on-field workouts for the defensive lineman and linebacker positions, with edge rusher Reuben Bain Jr. stealing all the headlines for his concerning arm measurements. The consensus All-American and Ted Hendricks Award winner is under scrutiny for measuring in with a 30 7/8 of an inch arm length, which is the 3rd shortest for any defensive end in Combine history. The results are leaving NFL scouts and media skeptical after he entered the week as a projected top 10 pick. Akeem Mesidor and linebacker Wesley Besainth also participated today, with Miami's 7 other invites slated to compete Friday through Sunday. Reporting live from the Schwartz Athletic Center, Liam Hickey, UMTV.
Thanks, Liam. The University of Miami Sports Hall of Fame hosted its 14th annual Celebrity Bowling Tournament on Tuesday, bringing together Hurricanes from every era. The event raises funds to keep the Hall of Fame alive, but it wasn't just about bowling. It was about the bond that keeps bringing them back. I got to attend the tournament.
It looks like your typical night out at the lanes.
It's really a party with a little bowling on the side. It's a bowling alley inside a bar.
This party is actually a reunion of dozens of University of Miami Sports Hall of Famers, coaches, national champions, and diehard fans. And besides having fun, the goal is to preserve legacy and support the future of Hurricanes athletics.
The University of Miami
Hall of Fame is a part of our team, and we're a part of their team. So we want to work together.
This is a fraternity. It's always been a fraternity. It's always been a brotherhood for me.
That brotherhood stretching across generations.
There are people here that played in the 70s, and there are people here that played just a few years ago.
We're built upon tradition. We're built upon family, friendship, teammate.
And for some Hurricanes, it's about passing that tradition on.
It's a great experience for them, and it's really an emotional and great experience for me too, watching them have such a great time.
Alex Poe is the founder of one of the sponsoring organizations called the Home Team. The Home Team is a program that helps underprivileged youth grow physically, mentally, and socially in an after-school program centered around sports.
It gives the athletes a chance to see how much the fans appreciate them.
My wife and I have tried to go to every sporting event we can. We're UM fans, tried and true.
Even Coach L, who hasn't bowled in 50 years, didn't want to miss it.
It wouldn't do me any good to bowl tonight. I'd be in the hospital tomorrow.
So he's leaving the strikes to someone else, but he's still right here where he belongs, because for Hurricanes past and present,
We're always a phone call away, no matter the distance.
that bond doesn't fade with time, it only grows stronger.
That everybody leaves here loving the University of Miami even more than they did before they came.
Well, Jaden, that event was definitely fun to go to, but I'm not a very good bowler myself. But
That's okay, Taryn. That's why we talk about the sports on air. Sometimes we aren't the best at them in real life.
Exactly. But this event, 150 people attended there in Doral, but there was also 4 other locations across the United States where the tournament was also played. And that's one of the goals of the Hall of Fame, as we know, bringing the fans and the icons together, but also keeping that legacy alive. And I know you attended another event this week with the Hall of Famer, so tell us about it.
Absolutely. That sports culture is so important to the University of Miami. And for the event I got to attend with the Hall of Fame this week, you really brought that mentorship and that legacy directly to campus.
You guys should YouTube that thing and take a peek at it. It's pretty fun.
Recent graduate student Keenan John had long heard the stories of University of Miami Athletics, a program that has produced some of the greatest teams and athletes in college sports history. But he wondered how to connect the current student body with that legacy in a more personal way.
And this museum is actually on campus, and there's a lot of people that have been within the campus, including faculty and staff, who just don't know that it's all within here. So that was kind of my goal within trying to do this event, is just to, bridge the gap between the students and the Hall of Famers and just, bring them here.
By partnering with the UM Sports Hall of Fame, John helped bring Miami's history directly to students. Attendees toured the Hall of Fame Center located next to the Knight Sports Complex and heard advice from alumni speakers.
They emphasize that you only get 4 years. It's a finite time. You have 4 years to enjoy and 40 years to remember, so just emphasizing to enjoy these 4 years.
Speakers like former professional center Brett Romberg hopes that this event encourages students to keep supporting UM athletics, both past, present, and future.
This national championship program that we established in 2001, 2002, we haven't really been close until last year. And now there's a new generation, there's a new crew, there's a new coaching staff, there's a new community that are becoming University of Miami football fans again. And the ones that fell off are back on again.
And this event is only the beginning. The Hall of Fame has hopes to expand this event for a lot more ideas, including specific sports-speaking events, such as football or baseball, or even one for women in sports, which I think that Taryn and I would really enjoy.
I was about to say, it's really awesome if you guys could actually cover an event like that. It'd
Yeah,
be great.
Absolutely.
I mean, and yeah, just from everything we've seen between the bowling event, the speaker event, it's great when these greats that have come through this program, have been through the school, are able to put on for the city and kind of show why it's so great to be a Miami Hurricane.
Yeah, and you could see how much these alumni just love this school, love to bleed orange and green coming back for all of these events. And they even said to me at that bowling tournament too that it's just so much more fun when the teams are good and your teams are winning.
Yeah, I mean, just look at all the main programs right now. We saw what football did this year. We're seeing what basketball is doing right now. Baseball, off to the 10-0 start you talked about earlier. I think athletics is really peaking right now, and when you have everything being as good as it is, not only is it good just for the vibe here on campus, but you think about the future players who are going to come through this program, seeing how good things are here right now, it's really excellent.
Yeah, you really hit it on the head, Shay.
Yeah, but thank you, Jaden, but that's all the time we have for you tonight on NewsVision. Thank you for tuning in.
We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Have a great night.